Hi everyone, today I'm back in a video in which I'm gonna talk about some favorites regarding things to watch. So I'm gonna talk about different types of things to watch, but I don't want to refer to the word thing during this entire video, so I guess I'm gonna use the word series. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about mini series like TV shows also, and even a YouTube channel, so if you're interested, keep on watching. They all have very different themes, as you're gonna see, and also there's no order. So I don't really want to do one big video with like my favorites when it comes to things to watch, because first of all the video would be too long, and also because I tend not to really have like major favorites. So for example, I don't have a favorite movie, I don't have a favorite book, etc. So I'd rather do several kind of short videos, even though they're not that short, where I talk about different series I've been watching and I liked. So remember, I say the word series because it's easier, but I could also talk about movies, for example, or documentaries. In this video I'm not going to mention movies, but in my last video, for example, I did mention a movie. So yeah, it's a concept that I find interesting, and if you are also interested, then keep on watching. So first of all, I'm gonna talk about a TV show called The Last Kingdom. The Last Kingdom has 4 seasons, but I believe it's ongoing, so we don't know really exactly how many seasons there are gonna be. So The Last Kingdom is based on historical events to a certain extent, because it's still fictional. So for example, it uses, from what I understood, it uses the name of kings that actually existed. So for example, in the TV show there's going to be King Edward, but the story is made fictional. So that's why I said that it's based on historical events to a certain extent, because it doesn't retrace exact history. And the story takes place in England in the 9th century, and we follow the life of the main character. So we follow different aspects of his life, so the relationship he has between members of royalty or also with Vikings, and we follow not only just his life but also main events that are happening not only in England, but like I said, there are also other surrounding countries that get involved. I don't want to say too much, but I think you get an idea. So it's a TV show that shows us different battles, like I said, the life of royalty, but also the life of Vikings, how different people interact with each other. Of course, there's also going to be problems. I mean, it's a TV show, so it shows us problems between the different characters, how they are resolved, and we follow, like I said, the main character throughout his life, his goals, his achievements, his losses, everything. And I believe that you will like this TV show if you like everything that has to do, like I said, with this time period, and anything that has to do, yeah, with battles, Vikings, or to see how kings ruled in England, all those kinds of topics. Then I really think you would like this series. Me, I just finished season 4, so like when I say just finished, it was probably like what, 2 weeks ago, so it's very recent. And the fact that I'm talking to you about this TV show now, it's because I really liked season 4. I thought season 4 was really good. It was really well made, and that made me like the TV show even more, I guess. I mean, it was already a good TV show to begin with, but I really liked the last season. I thought the last season was really well balanced, as in you have some battles, of course, but you also have interactions between the different characters. The storyline goes in an interesting path, so it's just well balanced between all those different elements. And well, I just thought also that the storyline was interesting, like I just said. And therefore, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I would just recommend you to watch it, to be honest. Next, I'm gonna talk about a YouTube video. So you might have seen on my channel, but I like everything that has to do with cooking, basically. Like I said, you might have seen that I have some cooking videos. I mean, to be fair, cooking videos, because they're very basic. I mean, I don't really show any like creative recipes or anything that's really hard. To be honest, so far I've kind of like tried to see what it would be like to film what I eat in a day and stuff like this, and some different recipes. Like I said, not really recipes, but what it's like to film me making food, because it's a different type of video than the video I'm doing right now, and those are videos that require more work. So far I've done really simple recipes, My goal was not really to show like sophisticated fancy recipes or anything, but more to give ideas of what you could do if you want to do simple recipes. You don't really have so much time, you're a student, and you want something that still tastes good. And I mean, the recipes I've shown you are recipes that I like, so it was just to share like these easy recipes. But parenthesis closed. Me, I really like watching YouTube channels that are focused on cooking food, and when I like those videos, I'm really looking at them because I want inspiration for recipes that I could later do. Therefore, I don't want recipes that are super long that require like hundred of ingredients. I really look for something that's like, when I mean simple, I don't mean like really simple, but I mean like feasible, and that doesn't take like 3 hours. And the YouTube channel I'm going to talk to you about is called Suckle. I'm going to try, if I can, to put some screenshots of some of the videos that are on this channel so you can have an idea. What I really like about this channel is that all the recipes are very varied. So on like each video is different. Like in each video you're gonna have cuisine from different countries. You're gonna have sometimes breakfast, sometimes dinners, sometimes what I eat in a day, sometimes formats that are short, sometimes formats that are a bit longer. So the videos are really varied, and I think this is really nice, to be honest, because you have to find a recipe that you find interesting on this channel. And also, like I said, it fulfills the requirements I was talking to you about. So the videos show recipes that are, some recipes are harder than others, like of course they're not all on the same level, but a good amount of recipes, like when I look at them, I actually tell myself, okay, I'm gonna be able to make this, you know. I think it has recipes that are feasible but also fancy, which is exactly what I want. Now I'm gonna finish with two series that are quite short on Netflix that are very sad. They're sad stories, so they are particular in that sense. The first I'm going to talk about is called When They See Us. So you might have heard about it because it's a famous series, but I mean, it's based on a true story, so the story itself is well known. It took place in New York in 1989, and like I said, it's based on true events, so I don't want to tell too much, but I have to give a bit of background, otherwise I cannot say anything about the mini series. But it's the story of a woman who was jogging, I think, and she got attacked. Therefore, after that, suspects are found, and I think it's 5 boys. So I say boys because they were teenagers, so I'm not sure exactly. Maybe one of them was 18, but I mean, for sure they were young. They were all like child teenagers. Those 5 young people were basically suspect of the murder, and we follow the story from a bit before the attack and how the lives of those young people changed after they got basically suspected of attacking this woman. So in the series we see a lot of injustice and unfairness. I mean, the entire story basically is unjust, and so this is gonna give a bit of spoilers, but when the young people are being questioned, basically when they're in jail, you really see how the confessions are forced. So it's hard to watch because you see how unfair it is, and also how stories can be changed, and how like this detective work is so complex, basically. Like I said, it's a very sad story, but it's interesting to watch because it's based on true events, so it's very informative. And yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say in this video. The next mini series is also based on true events. It's also on Netflix, and it's called Who Killed Little Gregory. So this story happened in French. I personally watched it in French on Netflix, but I mean, I'm not sure, but I would guess that there should be at least subtitles, and probably you can watch it in English. I'm not sure. The story is about a young boy who I believe was 4 years old when he was murdered. He was found murdered. I watched a bit the explanations that they gave, you know, on Netflix, and I watched also the trailer of the series to see kind of what they say prior to you watching the series, so that I wouldn't tell too much of the story. So yeah, it was kind of to give me an idea of what I should say or not, because I don't want to give you too many spoilers. But from the beginning, you know that the kid is gonna be found murdered. And the story is again very dark. It's a very, very sad story. First of all, the fact that there are no actors, as in the images you see and the videos you see are real. So you're gonna see the parents of the child talking. So they're videos of the past. I don't know if that's clear what I'm saying, but basically it's videos that were taken when the events took place and that they used in the documentary. I mean, it's not a is it a documentary? I'm not really sure. It's like a mini series, but it's based on true events. And they also show other people, so for example journalists that were there when the events took place, and those people are talking now in the present, so when the series was made. Hope that makes sense. So you see people that lived the event talking. It's not actors who are acting, which makes it very, well, real, because you really see images. The story is very dark. You see many people reacting to it, like I said, people that were directly involved, so relatives, and also people that lived the story through the media or stuff like this. I have watched it a while back, like a few months, so I don't remember exact details, therefore I don't want to say anything wrong. But it's a very sad story, and also the atmosphere in the entire series is quite dark, and it's very it has like a weight. I don't know if that makes sense, but for example the music in the intro, you know, before each episode, just like really makes you feel uncomfortable, and uncomfortable in the way that you kind of feel this darkness in the story, if you understand what I mean. I wouldn't recommend watching you this if you don't like those kind of stories. I mean, stories that have to do with crime, because it's hard to watch. But if you find them interesting, I mean, like I said, it's based on true events, so it's things that really happened. And if you find those kind of series interesting, series that have to do with trials and suspects, crime and stuff like this is a story that was, I mean, talked about a lot in French media and is like a famous story, at least in France. I'm not really ending in a positive note here, but I hope you were able to discover new series that might be of interest to you. I'm sorry if I don't say a lot about the series, but it's true that I don't want to give spoilers, so I have to stay quite vague, otherwise I might say too much. So I hope I was still able to give enough information about each of them. But yeah, I hope it was interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye!